Hi everybody, welcome to the Maker's Motivation vlog. Hello everyone, welcome to Maker's Motivation. I'm Mary.
And I'm Ann.
And today we're going to talk about transportation when it comes to wheelchair accessibility, right? And we get to go to a fun wedding.
Yes, in October.
Yep, and I'm going to go with you and possibly learn how to use the Hoyer lift, but
Right.
we've decided that we might not need to do that.
But that's also something that a person doesn't readily have.
Right.
So they have to. And that stuff can get expensive.
It really can. Yeah, so how much would it cost to rent one?
Honestly, I haven't priced them yet because
we aren't sure.
Right.
But how much was it for the van per day?
The van is like $115 for the weekend.
Okay. That's a lot. Oh, for the weekend? That's
Yes.
not that bad, but still.
But they only give you so many miles, and because we're traveling across state, they're going to rake up miles on us.
Okay, yeah, gotcha.
It's going to be so many per mile.
And then they charge extra afterwards?
Right.
Gotcha.
Right.
Okay.
Let's say they give you 200 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Anything over that when you get back gets tacked on your bill later.
Right. Okay.
So.
Gotcha. That stinks.
Yeah.
It really does. So yeah, so we have a hotel room.
Right.
And what we were discussing is
disgusting.
Right. What we were discussing is how we would handle it after the wedding, and
Right.
what we were going to do. You know, whether or not I would stay in the same room or get a different room, because it's hard to figure out.
Mm-hmm. Well, it is a king size bed, so.
Okay. Right. Okay.
You know, I don't think the two of us put together is that big.
I hope not.
If it is, just shoot me, okay?
That would be good. But my point was if we use the Hoyer lift, there's the padding on the bed too, right? How does that work? Like, is it this?
Yes.
Is it the same thing that's
Yes.
on here?
Yes, that's the Hoyer pad.
Okay. So this would be attached to the Hoyer,
Yes.
and then that's how.
It's like a hammock.
Okay. Speaking of which, Katie wants me to put up a hammock today.
Our daughter.
I have a 13-year-old. She's great. I love her dearly, but today she's a little challenging.
But teenagers, that's an entirely different chapter.
Yep.
We'll catch on that on a different
It's just on my mind. It was one of those mornings. But so back to the Hoyer. We have to then attach. Is it attached to the top and the bottom? Then is that how it works? Okay.
Yes.
And then it puts you in. Now, if we were to rent one, it's not. It's manual then.
It's manual. You have to pump it.
Okay. And here it's not. Here they just like kind of push a button and
Right.
it goes. Okay.
Right.
So.
And I probably could get an electric one.
Right.
But you're probably going to double the price.
Right.
To rent one of those for a night.
Right. And those are not going to be cheap either. But there's portable Hoyer lifts, and then there's also, the manual, and then there's the electric.
Right.
And the portable would obviously be cheaper.
Right.
And it's probably the way we'll go, is what I'm guessing, if we do it.
Right.
Right. So getting there for someone who is in a wheelchair to a wedding, like we're going, it's 4 hours away, takes a lot of preparation. For me, we were just discussing this now even. This is bizarre. When I get up in the morning, I take a shower and I'm ready and I'm done. When she gets up in the morning, she can't do all of those things. It would take her the entire day.
She's right. She's right.
Someone to help you get dressed. It's a whole different ordeal every single day.
Right.
So you're going to be ready before we go to this wedding, and we're going to stay one night. And at night, the possibility would be to either sleep then in the chair.
Right. My chair does recline back, so.
It does, and I keep almost hitting it
And when Mary came here today,
Yes.
I was outside asleep in my chair.
Yeah, it reclines way back, and I went right past her. I didn't know it was her. Right past her, just looking all over for you.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't find you for like 10 minutes. Went out, and there she was,
Yeah.
snoozing.
Yeah,
Snoozing in the sun.
just waiting for her.
Anyways, so bottom line is that's the possibility, either that or we can get you in the bed with the Hoyer lift,
Right.
which I may need help doing, but either
Right.
way, I'm going to learn how to do it.
There'll be
Here.
plenty of people around to.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then other things that we usually worry about when we travel then too are your colostomy bag
Right.
and your catheter.
Mm-hmm.
And for that, because we're only going one day, it's not going to really be a big deal.
No, the catheter will have to be emptied a few times, and
But otherwise,
And-
what would you have to do if we say we went on a vacation, like a week's long vacation somewhere?
it would have to be emptied a lot.
Right. Okay. And what does that entail though? Like, is it, I mean, so there's a bag you said, and you just
Right.
empty the bag. What about the catheter?
No, that was the catheter.
Oh, okay. What about the colostomy bag?
The colostomy, it's just attaches like a Tupperware bag, and you just peel it off, throw it away, slap a new one on.
That's awesome.
So it's not
It's not like it used to be.
right.
They make it a lot easier for you today.
Absolutely. It's not that difficult.
And that actually makes, it more accessible to live on your own if they're,
Right.
if you had a Hoyer lift that was a smart Hoyer lift,
Absolutely.
you would be on your own.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't have to worry about whether AIDS showed up or not, which we
Right.
touched on in the first vlog.
Right. Your problem was when you did try for the 3-week period to live on your own was the AIDS didn't show.
Right.
So you would be stuck either in bed or in your chair.
All right.
But if you had a little button you could push to move you around from the bed around the house, like a Hoyer lift device,
Right.
you could do it on your own.
Right.
I know, that would be
It'd
fantastic.
Yeah.
A whole different
Absolutely.
story. A whole different story.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So we just wanted to touch on some of the things that it takes to travel for someone who's in a wheelchair. I mean, there are buses, some of them are accessible, but
But they don't cross counties.
buses don't?
No. Like,
Well, yeah, not all of the city buses
right, like SCAD.
come into the
Or-
come into every area.
Right.
Like they wouldn't stop here, so you'd have to make your way to a city bus stop to take a regular city bus.
Oh, no, they would.
Oh, they would come here?
They would come here
Okay,
for the disabled.
okay,
They do door to door,
Okay.
but it has to be within county.
okay. Gotcha. I didn't know that. I knew SCAT was like that, or
Right.
any of the other regular accessible busing, but I thought that the regular Greyhound, is that accessible now?
That's always been accessible,
Right. So
but you have to call ahead and make sure they send the right bus, because Greyhound doesn't always
they're
send.
not all accessible.
Right.
Gotcha. Okay.
Right.
So it's still a hassle.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
That was what I was getting at. And then for riding in an airplane. Have you ever been on an airplane?
Oh heck. No way. No how.
No, you wouldn't even attempt it at this point.
Not unless I was.
Yeah.
blitzed.
Okay.
Yeah, you better get me blitzed first.
Yeah. Okay.
So.
So you don't know much about the accessibility on a plane? Really?
No. Unfortunately, that I can't touch on.
Gotcha. But we do know that most hotels are, for the most part, but not.
Well, they have rooms.
They have rooms that are, but they don't, the whole hotel isn't accessible.
Correct.
It's funny. They tell you, whenever they use the word accessible, they mean that you can get in the door, and sometimes they don't even. Sometimes that doesn't even work.
Right.
But for the most part, it's just certain areas that are accessible, which stinks.
Absolutely.
That stinks too. Or like tables. There were times when Ann and I have gone and to eat somewhere.
Yeah.
And tables will be like the pub tables. That's all they have. So they're way up over her head.
Right.
And
because I'm very, very short.
Right, but even still, you're in a wheelchair,
Right.
and you're not sitting on a stool. I mean,
Right.
Those are taller stools. They're bar stools, anyways.
Right.
So I mean, it would make sense why you couldn't reach the table. But it's hard sometimes to go to places just because they don't even think about that. Just the seating in itself, where you can roll up to and be comfortable enough to sit and eat.
Mm-hmm. Don't even get me started on concerts.
Right, we
talked about that.
We talked about that, but I mean, it's just everywhere. But traveling for you is difficult.
Right.
And
which is why I've really never done it.
But we're gonna start doing more.
We're
of
gonna
it.
do it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make you.
Yes, ma'am.
I'm gonna make you fly. Also, you're gonna get on an airplane.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you are. We'll figure that one out.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see who will win this battle.
Oh, I will win.
Oh no, you won't.
Isn't there anywhere that you've ever wanted to go?
Yes, but I'm not telling you because we're not going to do it.
Sure, we will.
No, we won't.
Well, anyways, ladies and gentlemen, we're gonna get going.
Okay.
Before she kills me.
Yeah, we don't want a murder on you. Yeah.
But yeah, so this.
But I love her like a sister. I would never.
Oh yeah, that's true. But she's a stinker. But long story short is, we just want to make you all aware that it's not easy for her to get to places, and it's not really very fair. So she's stuck, and she's not the only one. There are like millions of people out there.
Absolutely.
Who stay home or are confined, all because
I'm just one of the few with a big mouth who wants to get it in the forefront.
who has a friend with a big mouth.
That too.
Right. So, thank you very much for listening, and I hope you all have a very good